Welcome to Broken Tusk Rising, a Pathfinder 2nd Edition actual play in the Galarian campaign setting. We're playing through the Quest for the Frozen Flame adventure path.
I'm Jessica, and I'm playing Zancath, the halfling fighter.
This is Josh, and I'm playing Ivan, an orc fighter and former crusader.
I'm Sean, and I'm playing Andreas Witchborn, the human magus.
I'm Ashley, and I play Aklep the druid, a former member of the Burning Mammoth.
I'm Pavel, and I'm playing Lucalo, the skeleton sorcerer.
Last time on Broken Tusk Rising, the heroes handily defeated a pair of shadow creatures next to a demonic sphere of darkness. After investigating the area further and finding no additional information, they headed northwest to the homestead of Vare, the former crusader, where the Broken Tusks have made their new camp. After crossing the camp, hidden under the tree canopy and extensive camouflage, they climbed a mountain trail to find Andreas meditating at a lookout station, incense burning in a rock overhang behind him. The aged warrior sits still, showing no signs of having heard their approach. His pack is behind him in the shelter of the rock, along with his meteor hammer and the magical cold iron longsword that you left at the camp for safekeeping. Maybe he also has that magical breastplate that you left behind.
Not a great lookout.
I heard that. Andreas turns towards you, and you see he is wearing the breastplate.
It's a little snug. What do you think? Do I look good?
Lou shoots him a thumbs up.
Does he look good?
Does he look good? Roll for looking good.
I guess I should point out that there's someone new with the group. I don't think Andreas has met Lou yet.
Or Ivan.
Or Ivan, yeah. There are two new people with the group.
I was going to ask. I didn't think Lou had been back to the camp, but I couldn't remember for sure.
I think he's been back, but hasn't seen Andreas.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Lou was back for the funeral, basically, but I don't think he's really interacted with anyone outside the party.
Yeah.
We didn't go back to the following for the funeral.
Yeah, it was just like a scouting party. It was like Corgo's family.
Oh, that's right.
So, yeah, there are two new people. One of them's a skeleton.
Unless Lou's trying to be incognito.
I'm still fully cloaked up. Yeah, I'm
just gave a thumbs up.
Yeah, Lou keeps forgetting that he doesn't have boots or gloves yet.
The bony thumb. Zancath, it's good to see you.
You as well. I trust things have been well with the following.
Well, as good as they can be. Trapped out here in the middle of nowhere.
Sure. It's difficult circumstances.
We've taken in some of those orphans that you've been sending back and trying to get them settled with the group. Some of them are getting along better than others. How are your travels? What have you found?
It's just found much. We've picked up a few new friends ourselves. This is Lou, and that's Ivan.
Lou waves excitedly.
There's a bony hand protruding from the long cloak.
Andreas squints at that, but doesn't comment. Ivan, you're a former crusader, right? Do you wear anything that would identify you as a crusader?
Not really. On his back is a shield with a symbol of Iamade faded on it.
Okay.
So if you ever catch a glimpse of that thing.
He gives you like a polite nod.
Sup?
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Well, we've found another group, a group of crusaders, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And have decided it would be for the best if we teamed up with them. I think they'll be able to help the following move through the forest, be more concealed there from the dragon.
Is this, Vare's old group?
Yes, it is. I'm sure Vare will not be happy with this arrangement, but it felt the best option at the time.
Well, she's not the one in charge, is she? You're the scouts.
I don't think we're in charge either, but of course I understand what you're saying.
I would say, yes. Jonesy and the other leaders will have to find a way to make them fit in and get along with the others.
All that I can hope for. How have you been, Andreas and Jonesy? Is Jonesy well? Fitting in their leadership position?
You can see that Andreas looks a little bit, he's like, there's like a flash of stress over his face, as you mentioned, Jonesy.
Things are interesting. Jonesy's off doing a sort of walkabout or something. He has to spend some time in the wilderness by himself. Not that I don't trust he'll be fine, but it's been a long time since we've really been separated.
Of course, I understand completely. That's quite stressful.
He has to commune with Sarah and Ray or something.
Of course. Part of leadership, I imagine.
I think that's part of it, right? He has to become a Mammoth Lord, he has to get the approval of the gods, and he has to find a mammoth to ride or something. Zargakoa, she's so vague about everything.
Do tend to keep things close to the chest, that group.
Yes. There is something you could help us with, actually.
I have a question for you as well, but please, go ahead.
There are some children in the camp who are getting it into their head that they want to become scouts. They've been wandering further and farther afield based on your fame and the exciting things and stories that you've been bringing back. If you could speak to the children, particularly Korgo's young boy, about minding their elders and staying safe, I think it would help coming from you.
Of course, I'm happy to do that. On the way back to the camp, we ran into an interesting item. Item doesn't seem the correct word. We found a sphere of darkness.
A sphere of darkness.
A very large sphere. And I had a vision pertaining to this area. I believe that this place where the sphere was, is where Metuak got the demon, got possessed by the demon.
Could you describe what you're speaking of? Was it, bigger than a breadbox?
Quite a bit bigger than a breadbox. Roughly 20 feet diameter, roughly.
Did you touch it?
No, I felt that was not a good idea. We did stick some sticks in there and nothing happened, but I did not feel it was wise to touch it. We were attacked there by 2 shadow creatures, but handled them easily.
Is there anything that I could roll about that, Mike?
Yeah, you could roll. You have demon lore, right?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Why don't you roll demon lore?
Have I leveled up? It's a real question.
You should now be the same level as the party, which I believe is 5th level.
Okay.
Aklep is pointing to his chest, where Zancath was wearing the amulet.
There's 2.
Oh, yeah, and I guess you noticed that Zancath is wearing a new amulet on her chest, a black stone amulet.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe that's not remarkable.
I'm just figuring out what my new skill is, because I'm definitely better at demon lore now.
Obviously.
That is a 27 demon lore.
Nice.
Okay, so from her description, let's assume she elaborates a bit on her vision.
I do.
And she describes a stone and somebody walking up to a stone and black shadows shooting out of the stone. And it sounds to you like this area has been cursed by a demon. And you draw the same conclusion that they do, that this seems to have been a vision of Metuak, the former member of the Burning Mammoth following. And it seems like this vision depicts the taking in of a demon spirit into Metuak. And at the behest of his following, the following apparently wanted him to do this, and it's surely some kind of vision granted by this amulet that Zancath is wearing.
Seems that this amulet you're wearing is connected to the event.
Do I know anything about, shadow demons, or if there's, a particular...
There are a lot of different kinds of demons.
Yeah.
And they all do different things and have different sort of portfolios, I guess. And it sounds like Metuak must have taken in some kind of shadow demon specifically.
You may recall I once told you about a wide portfolio of demons that exist. Some of them demons of lust, and if you can use their counterpart or their counterpoint or emotion, then they become weakened against them. So a demon of control, if you're able to deny its tyranny, then you can weaken it. A demon of greed, if you are able to be generous around it, you can weaken it. It's a demon of shadow, perhaps, if you need to use light, or perhaps you need to... Yes.
Also, one other conclusion that I think Andreas can probably draw with that roll, and that is that amulet was probably Metuak's amulet.
You're walking around wearing the clothes of the enemy, Zancath.
based upon the vision, he wasn't the enemy when he originally had the amulet, but I do understand what you're saying.
Yes, if there's one thing I understand about the influence of the abyss, it is that those who think that they are immune can easily be turned to the dark side.
Do you think I should stop wearing it? I've had no ill effects, simply the vision.
But have you experienced any boons because of it?
I have, actually. I felt like, I don't know how that works in, like, I don't know how to explain that in universe. Do I understand that I had a, whatever it was that the necklace gave me?
Resistance to void damage, and in another case,
yeah, and I got something
to,
else.
I think it was
will.
resistance to, bonus to will saves. That's what it was.
Yeah. Do I, as a character, understand that it was there, or is it simply a thing that was?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, I was haughty against some damage, and felt my will was strengthened. Are you saying that is a temptation? That is their way of tempting me into keeping the amulet?
Andreas squints at the device, or at the amulet around her neck. Can he roll specifically about that?
Sure.
Like identify a magic item?
She'll take it off and hand it to him.
Okay.
Like, she's not enamored of it or anything, so.
He's wary about touching it at first. Can I roll demon lore on that, or should I roll like an arcana?
I would let you roll demon lore. That's fine.
Okay.
I might give you different information than an arcana check.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've already rolled Arcana.
It's a 20.
Yeah, it doesn't seem specifically demonic,
Mm-hmm.
although it probably has been affected by the interaction with a demon. In fact, I don't know how much... is Zancath going to tell as much as she remembers of this memory?
Oh, yeah. Well,
okay.
I'll tell everything.
I mean,
Yeah,
she tells
yeah.
you that it used to be white in the memory, and then once this demon came into Metoak, it turned black. And so it has been affected, although it doesn't seem specifically demonic itself.
Interesting. I would probably continue to use it if it's granting you defenses against the enemies you've been encountering, but I would be wary. All of you should know that if you come into conflict with a demon or Metoak, it may be a weakness against them. I would be aware you may have to take it off if he's able to exert some influence against you if you come across his path.
That's good advice, and good for all of us to know if something should happen and I seem to be clinging to the amulet or, unable to take it off. It might be a good idea to remove it
She
from
starts talking about preciouses or anything like that.
Yes. It is not my precious.
Aklep nods.
You might have to put her down.
I don't know that we need to go that far, but perhaps.
Maybe just remove amulet.
I feel like these are references that I do not understand.
But you weren't here before, it's fine.
What is this?
Yes, well, deserters don't get a lot of references.
Burn.
They miss the important part of things.
What? Ouch. Rude.
Quite harsh, Andreas, but I'm not going to step in the middle of that one.
Ivan, do you wield swords?
Oh, yes, I like swords. I like all things. But swords are cool.
I have here blade, old iron longsword. I believe it once belonged to Vare's brother.
Am I right?
That's correct.
Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. He holds it up. He's like, looks at you.
I think a man of your stature may be the best to wield it. It will help you against demons, as you might have known if you stuck around to the end of the war. If you take this, perhaps you can regain some of your honor. Fight with valor, the way Vare's brother did.
And he holds it out for you.
Ivan will take it, give it a few practice swings.
Whoa, watch it.
Sorry. Needs to test against flesh, I've had enough of your jokes, man.
Roll for initiative.
Thank you. Very good. I will use it. and regain my honor.
I don't know that the air quotes were necessary, Ivan, but sure.
Yes, it is very nice. What do I give you in return for this?
Keep my friends safe. That's all I ask.
I will try. Oh, you can do me one other favor. I've heard much about you. Yes.
All bad, I assure you.
Yes, I've heard you're very gassy in camp. Mrs. Zanketh speaks of legendary flatulence. Here, examine shield for me for a second. I remember your name is etched into it. And also Jonesy.
Oh, what is this?
Yes, you have to make up story on spot because my creator never did. So I have passed this on to you.
It's been a while since I've listened to the Ivan introduction episode. Would you remind me what I'm looking at?
Yes, see, it is Shield of Iomedae, faded, very old. Little magic. It has names, many names sketched in. I have memorized each one. I figured they were all dead crusaders, but here you are, alive. Here's your name, right here, see? And Jonesy is over here. Here is Tall Jim. I always liked Tall Jim name. Yes, all sound great. But do you know what this is?
I do.
Because here you are alive.
Yes. You're putting me on the spot remembering dark memories, but yes, I remember these men and women. This was from a battle many years ago. Tall Jim wielded this shield. It was a little small for him. He's a pretty tall guy. But we fought at a bridge. One of the choke points coming out of Sarkoris. We had to defend against a legion of tieflings. Is that what they're still called now? I don't know. The remaster has changed everything.
They're called something else. I don't remember what.
Yes, they were mortals twisted by demons. They attempted to... Nephilim. Yes, evil Nephilim. They attempted to overrun this choke point. We were set up, staged to defend against them. Tall Jim fought very valiantly. I remember at one point he had bashed a Nephilim across the chest with his shield, knocking him over the edge of the bridge and then down. It must have been 350 feet to the rocks below. He didn't stop screaming the whole way down.
And Andreas looks into the middle distance, his eyes losing focus.
That shield has fought hard battles and done much good for the people of Galarian, and use it to continue to defend.
Yes, thank you for explaining story. So these are not people who have died, but champions who fought well.
This is everyone who survived the battle.
Very good. I, unfortunately, have added new names, making silly assumption, but I'm not going to cross them out. That would be weird. But this is very good to know.
Well, hopefully they are good company, for they are amongst heroes. Well, and me and Jonesy are on there too, but the rest of the men and women on there, I was quite proud to know.
I will use Tall Jim Shield. And what was the name of the owner of this blade?
Ooh.
Vair's brother, you mean?
Vair's brother.
Elan, E-L-A-N.
It was
Not
Elon.
Elon.
It was
Not Elon, to be clear. Elan.
I'm afraid I'm going to have trouble pronouncing the right way.
Vair's brother. You could just say Vair's brother.
Oh boy, lots of emails coming in. please stop it.
I think you meant Alan.
Yes. I will use these to defend your friends.
Take the battle to those filthy demon worshippers and end this fight.
Ivan nods and sheathes the sword, puts the shield on his back. Thank you. Let's go yell at some children.
Before you go, I have one other bit. I've been meditating a lot in Jonesy's absence. I've been communing with my own god, reading the stars and smelling my favorite incenses. And I've had some visions of my own. There are strange portents and omens I have seen. There is a mountain somewhere in this valley with winds that are angry and fearsome. You would do well to be aware of them. But they too, somehow, are victims of the primordial flame. I know it's vague, but it's kind of funnier that way, isn't it? Gods do have such humor.
If you say so, Andreas, you know I'm not really one for the gods. There is, in fact, a mountain not far from here, a lone mountain from what I've been able to see, though I'm not really aware of what's past it because those squares are covered up in darkness.
Ah, yes. The fog of war.
The fog of war. But it's possible that this is the mountain that you're referring to. We've heard some strange things about it. I believe we will end up there at some point, but have not ventured towards that mountain yet.
Yes, it's the symbols that I have seen, the omens that I have received. It's telling me that even those foes you may encounter there maybe have remnants or shreds of goodness within them. But it's difficult to iron out and tell.
Mike, last time we were here, were we confident that the flame is with the dragon?
Yes.
Or I couldn't remember when we figured that out. Okay, so Andreas would already know that.
Probably, yeah. I think that information would have spread around that there's a white dragon in the valley and it has the primordial flame. I mean, and Vare would have reinforced that, although Vare doesn't know that term, the primordial flame.
I did tell you guys before that white dragons are basically pushovers, and you could just go handle it pretty easily. Yeah.
Yep.
They're the wusters of dragons.
And there's also a...
Lindsay and I killed one once. Up on the crown of the world. Yes, it was great. We were crossing this glacier, and there was this bard with us. Anyways, I cut his head clean off. I used a samurai sword.
I was going to say, you tend to work with a hammer, so I was surprised by the ability to cut off something's head.
I change it up every once in a while.
Sure. It's good to have variety.
Well, is there anything else you want to ask Andreas about?
Lou is going to take a book out of his bag and walk up to Andreas and ask him, hey, you seem like you're pretty wise and smart about all kinds of things.
Do go on.
Can you take a look at the spell book?
Oh, of course.
We took it off of a necromancer.
Andreas reaches out, takes the spell book, cautiously opens it.
I tried looking at it, but my necromancer never let me read his, so I can't really make heads or tails of it.
Make an Arcana check.
Okay. I rolled very poorly. A hero point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
22.
22. All right, so you look over this spell book, and it's definitely a necromancer spell book. In fact, this kind of spell book is called Abominable Missives of the Atrophied.
Okay.
He's really testing my spelling ability on this one.
I'm not going to try.
Abominable Missives of the Atrophied. And it has a bunch of spells in it. You want me to read the spells it has in it?
Well, yeah, because I'm going to add them to my character sheet.
Right. All right. Chill Touch, Detect Magic, Electric Arc, Ray of Frost, Read Aura, Shield, Fear.
Good one.
Featherfall, Ray of Enfeeblement, Spider Sting, False Life.
Also a good one.
Although it has a new name in the remaster, I can't remember what it is.
Okay.
Grim Tendrils, Mirror Image,
Ooh.
Web, Bind Undead.
Bind undead, not find undead?
No, Bind.
I'm right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Watch out, Lou.
Lightning Bolt
Yeah.
and Vampiric Touch.
Ooh.
Vampiric Touch.
Vampiric Touch is a very good mage's spell.
Oh, and some more, I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Well, it's a focus spell. I don't know if that shows up in a spell book or not.
Okay.
Maybe. Call of the Grave,
That sounds cool.
It does sound cool.
Spectral Hand.
Which is probably mage hand. Cool. And it's called Abominable what?
Missives of the Atrophied.
Bad letters from people who have lost muscle mass.
Yeah. I was about to translate this myself.
This would be a great metal album.
It seems like a really, Yeah, metal name that she gave her own spell book.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see it originally said my spell book, and then that's crossed out.
My little spell book with like
It's a trapper keeper.
hearts and flowers.
Baby's first spell book.
Some faded stickers on it.
Andreas, while you're looking at some things that we've gotten recently, could you take a look at this acorn? It was given us to us by a dryad. She wants us to take it to her brother. Just want to make sure nothing terrible will happen if we do that.
You got roped into carrying acorns around.
We did.
Well, I don't know what you expect me to tell. It looks like it comes from a plant.
I mean, is it magical, or is there...
I have a +1 nature.
Yeah, you can roll it if you want.
11.
It looks like a really big acorn.
You could probably feed a squirrel or 2 squirrels.
Unhelpful, Andreas, unhelpful.
Yeah, you've got a druid with you.
Yeah, Aklep looks vaguely offended.
I was looking more for information from the magical side of things, but fine. Tried to talk about the nature of it, sure. Zancath puts the acorn away.
I've heard the dryads. Sorry, not druids. I heard the dryads will, make out with you if you plant trees for them, but...
Interesting.
Yeah. So that, if you're down for trees.
I mean, I don't really know what her brother's like, so it's hard to say.
Well, maybe he's cute.
Perhaps.
Okay, so anything else you want to ask Andreas about?
Has there been any sighting of the burning mammoths?
We haven't caught a whiff of them yet. I think they're probably still having quite a bit of trouble getting through the pass that collapsed as we made our way through. I wouldn't put it past them to get here eventually, though. But I think you have time. Find us a safe route. Deal with that lizard, and we should be all right. I'm keeping an eye out.
Okay.
And Grifka kind of flares up real angry.
Sure.
Do you want to ask about the breastplate, or none of you wear breastplates, I guess?
Ivan might, right? Or does he already have his own
I
kit?
do not need it. I have good enough, And besides, it's probably a bit smelly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the bonus for the +1 armor is basically it's going to be a 5 AC bonus. It's still got the same dex cap, I think. So, and a penalty to your speed. So
It would be awkward for me to ask him to take that off.
You'd have to help me.
You could have the ruin transferred to some other armor, I guess, if you wanted to.
yeah.
It would cost 16 gold pieces.
Oh, that would be very smart. Who does not have magic armor on?
Mine's just basic leather. And I don't know that any of us have magic armor.
Yeah, I have leather armor.
Yeah.
Maybe you could, Zanket, maybe you could ask him if you could transfer magic. However that works sounds like madness. Do that, and because you are in the scrum of things often.
Clep's nodding, yeah.
That's true, Zancath. If you're getting into the melee now, you might need that little bit of extra protection.
I would not say no to it, but, it's your breastplate if you want to keep the enchantment there. I won't fight over it.
Oh, no, you're the one in the field. You could just, I'm a little bit short right now.
He pats his pockets.
Hey, Mike, can you look at my character sheet and see if I have 16 gold so that I don't have to turn my camera off?
Look at 7. He'd be happy to donate.
I spent a lot on a looking glass, so I don't know how much I have left anymore.
You do not.
How much do I have?
You have 7 gold, 27 silver, so that's another 2.7 gold, and 12 copper. So you have almost 10 gold.
We can loan.
Lou will donate whatever gold necessary to make up the shortfall.
So I've for sure got 9 from the gold and silver. So anybody willing to donate 7? I do need 7.
Yeah. Lou happens to have exactly 7.
Okay. Thanks, Lou.
Is that all Lou has?
He's got some silver and some copper pieces, too.
Aklep has 46 gold, so I'm
What?
okay with yeah. I don't know why.
I had that much. I spent a lot on a looking glass, so like I had that much.
Yeah,
but
I'll give 7 gold so that Lou still has a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, Lou will start to reach into his pockets, and then as soon as he's like pulling out this giant handfuls of gold, he just kind of slowly puts his hand back in his pocket.
So yes, give me a little bit of time here. You go deal with those young whippersnappers, and I think by the time you come back, I should be able to have this re-etched.
Of course. Thank you.
Oh, leave your armor.
Of course. She takes off her armor. I appreciate it. Anything I can do to help protect is appreciated.
Yes, of course. And if you find any good whiskey or anything out there, I'll take that too.
I will keep that in mind.
All right, and with that, I think we'll let our wonderful guest Sean go about his business, and you'll get the armor from him later off camera.
Yeah.
And
whoa, hey now, this is a family show.
I'm just going to work on my spell book over here.
Sean, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, of course.
And we miss you.
Oh, yeah, I miss you guys too.
Kath is playing favorites. It hurts all of our feelings.
Enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully we'll get you back for another exposition dump sometime soon.
Look forward to it. All right, you guys have a good time, and stay safe.
Yeah, we'll try.
Bye.
I'll see you, everyone.
You leave Andreas as he walks down the mountain to have the potency rune etched into Zancath's armor. What are you going to do?
I'm going to go give a speech to some kids, apparently.
So you walk around the camp, and the kids in question are, perhaps not surprisingly, Immick, Brahm. You know who they are, right? Do I need to refresh your name? Okay. Grimble, who is a dwarf, and Fluin, who is an elf. And they are out scouting the woods, according to people around the camp. They said they were going to scout the woods, and Immick is riding a giant tapir.
Man, knows how to do it in style, at least.
And it doesn't take too long, since they're riding a tapir. They're not exactly stealthy. And I mean, they're clearly trying to be. They're playing at being stealthy. But you can pretty easily find them. Somewhat worryingly, they have left the cover of the camouflage of the camp. And although they're still in the woods, they're a bit more visible than you would like. As you exit the camouflage and come in their direction, Immick says, "Oh, look, there they are. There's the scouts. Let's go get some pointers." And they ride in your direction. Or walk, I guess. Everyone except for Immick walks. And Brahm comes running up. "Hi."
Hello, Brahm.
Grabs Zancath's leg.
I don't know. Like, I'm probably as tall as Brahm
I guess
is.
maybe you are Brahm's height. I don't know.
How old is Brahm?
What is Brahm, 5 now? Is that right?
5'6".
Josh, how old was Brahm? Do you remember?
I think you've been playing him in that 5 range.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Just pulling out the paper notes.
You guys, this is our TPK replacement group.
Yeah, it is.
Suddenly becomes a Goonies campaign.
I call Brahm.
Well,
Oh, I don't have an age written down for him.
Mike
Weird.
never kill children, right?
You mean in the real world?
No, I mean
You don't
our
have to answer
replacement
that.
group. I think
okay.
it's
Yeah, I won't
be
answer
too
questions
hard.
about killing children in the real world. But in the game, never.
Nice.
I'm glad we got that sorted out.
Okay, so these children are then immortal, plot armor. Let's strap them to ourselves.
Let's do it.
Whoa, you guys, the FBI just joined the chat. What's going on here?
How has your scouting gone?
And Brahm is just grabbing onto Zancath. "Hi, Zancath."
Hi, Brahm.
And Immick looks around very proudly and points in all directions. "We scouted over there, and up the mountain, and down the mountain, and we didn't see anything. But we kept looking. We're keeping the area safe. We've also visited some animals, and we made sure that all the animals were staying inside the camouflage like they're supposed to. And I rode this tapir, and the tapir is very happy with everything. You want to hear about Tapir Society?"
Immick, are all of the animals staying under the camouflage?
All except for this one, yes. They're all staying under the camouflage. We were walking
But
around to
that
make
one-
sure.
But that one is not. Is that safe, do you think? Do you think that's a good idea?
Oh, you mean for this taper?
If all of them should be under the camouflage, shouldn't the taper as well?
Oh, you think we should go scouting without the taper?
I think that for now, what I need from you is to stay very close to the camp. It's important that you know what's happening in the camp. If you wander off, what if something happens in the camp while you're gone?
Oh, okay, you think we should keep an eye on the camp and
I do.
Learn more about the animals in the camp?
I think that would be an excellent idea. You could learn more of the animals. You could learn... I'm sure that there is somebody who would be happy to help you improve your already incredibly good stealth. And, you could practice with your weapons and make sure that everything in the camp is safe. If you wander away, then who will be there to protect it?
And in terms of incredibly good stealth, you can see the giant taper footprints behind them, the crushed branches, the areas where the taper stopped to wrench some plants out of the ground to eat them. And you can see that the dwarf child is just sort of banging a stick on a shield, a wooden shield, just absentmindedly.
Yeah. I found him pretty easy.
Brahm is still grabbing onto you. Hi, Zancath.
Hi, Brahm. How have you been, dear?
Okay.
I know. I understand. She gives him a hug.
Emic looks around. Yes, I suppose we could protect the camp more within the camp, and I could teach these scouts about all the things I know about all the animals. And the other kids all go, aww.
And Zancath thinks, good, that will take 4 years, and they'll at least make it to closer to double digits.
Make a diplomacy check.
Sure. I'm looking to see if I could make an argument for anything else that would be better. I'm kind of deceiving them by talking about their...
Okay, that's fair. If you want to make a deception check, that's fair.
It's a little bit better. I got a 20. Not natural, just total.
That's good enough. They accept your argument, and they return to the camp, although you suspect they're not going to listen to Emic's lecture for long, and they will probably break up to do other things.
Yes, I will, when we get back to the camp, I will kind of search out some other people who have skills that I think they would like to learn and try to talk to people about, like, oh, well, somebody can help with their stealth or teaching them some weapon usage or stuff like that. Somebody who can, so people can take turns keeping them busy.
Good idea. And you also need to inform the leadership and Vare that they're going to join the former Crusaders at their camp.
That's our next stop.
Yeah. We can play that out if you want. We don't have to. It's pretty much just, hey, go there. Or we can play it out if you prefer to do that. Maybe Vare will have some information or something like that.
I don't feel a lot of need to play it out unless anybody else does.
I mean, it might be interesting to hear Vare talk to Ivan. I don't know. Maybe not. But it's up to you.
I feel kind of awkward because I am holding their brother's sword, and it makes me feel weird.
I mean, they gave it to us.
Sounds like we need to play that out then.
Oh, no, please. No, I'm asking you to use fast forward button.
Here's what I would like to do. We say we speed through the hand wave through the telling them about joining the Crusaders, but then afterwards I would like to pull Vare aside for a conversation.
Okay. All right, so you do inform the leadership and you inform Vare. And there's a little bit of grumbling because they've got this really sweet camouflage setup here, but everyone understands they need to get through the valley and they need to get farther away from the caves where the burning mammoths will eventually break through. So they do accept, as the scouts, you have their interests at heart and that they need to move. And yeah, that all is totally reasonable. And you pull Vare aside. What do you want to talk to Vare about? Vare looks a little... grumpy. Is it just you, or do you have the group with you?
I'll say it's the group. I'm not doing anything that I don't want them to know.
All right, so you pull Vare aside. She was teaching some snares to some of the members of the following, and as you get her attention. She leaves them to it and walks over to your group, and she nods at Ivan and just says, Ivan?
Hello.
Well, what can I do for you? You, friends with the people hiding in their camp, I suppose. I heard we're going to join them.
I don't know that I would go so far as friends, but acquaintances. We're working together for the benefit of both.
Ivan's okay.
No, she looks Ivan up and down.
Thanks, Ekla.
Ivan's been very helpful.
It is nice of you to say.
I'll make sure they stick to the trees as much as possible.
I appreciate that. I know that we can trust you to keep them out of sight as much as possible.
Are there any risks between here and there that we ought to be aware of?
I explain the risks.
The only thing I can think of is the tatzelworms that left the forest.
And are now probably in the
I
cave?
think the stone circle thing, right?
She told us about that one.
Yeah, you said that there are caves, but people might be coming through them. They just said they were going to leave the forest. You drove them out, you drove them out of their ancestral home, and they don't. You don't know where exactly they're going to go. They don't know exactly where they're going to go.
Okay, I tell her about the tetzelworms and say there was another thing that we found southeast of here. It was a large sphere of darkness. I was curious if you knew anything about it.
No, I never ventured there. It doesn't sound safe. I'll steer clear of that. We'll head south first, and then southeast.
Practical jokes could be pine leshies.
All
Yes.
right, I'll keep that in mind.
Avoid the mountain? We haven't been there yet, but it seems that there might be something up with it.
All right. Stone circle, is that still spooky?
Still not safe. Still spooky. We have some griffins to deal with and possibly a dead body to find to return to them, but we have not managed to knock that off the list yet. So you can approach the circle, but don't enter it.
Very well. Anything else?
Watch out for griffins. Apparently, they pick up people and carry them away.
I don't think they'll bother the following.
Teach and Brom. Camouflage.
Brom? The little one?
Yeah.
He's Korgo's
Yes.
son.
Yes.
Yes, if you could help him. I think
I can keep him busy. Don't worry about that.
I imagine
You want
he
me to
is...
work him hard?
But not hard, just, give him something to think of other than what he's lost.
Keep him safe.
Take him under your wing before the griffins do.
Dark.
So you do want me to work him hard, then?
Make it fun.
Fun?
Yeah, he's a kid.
I'll think about it.
I'm sure you could at least teach him some snares. He might...
Yes,
Find that interesting.
that's a good idea. I'll do that. So you leave Vare pondering how she can babysit Brom and make it fun.
We're gonna come back. He's gonna be entangled in a snare. I'm teaching him to escape a snare.
And I think that's all you need to accomplish at the following. You get the armor back.
Yeah.
+1 leather armor.
I can't believe he charged us. So rude.
I know, come on.
The game charged you.
What kind of... Is it a potency room or
That's right.
resilient?
It's a potency room. Armor
plus
potency.
one
That's
potency?
right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool, I've got it.
So with that, you leave the following, and you have to decide where you want to go next.
I was thinking that we head towards the griffins next.
Agreed.
All right, so can everyone see the map?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so on the map, the griffins would be somewhere in the area where I indicated just now.
Yeah.
Southwest of us, right?
Right. So it takes a day to leave the mountains, and then a day to cross this plains hex, and you find a low, shallow area. to ford the river.
Oh, wait a second, really quick. Before we leave the following, can Lou buy a pair of boots and a pair of gloves?
Too late. I already moved the token. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Yes, I suppose so. Yeah, buy some gloves and some boots so you're a little bit less obvious. I have no idea what those cost, but I bet you could look it up.
I will find it.
So, after a couple days, you're now in the Plains Hex, and then it takes a couple days to get up into the mountains. So that's 4 days.
Okay.
And then you begin reconnoitering. So after 2 days in the mountains, as you begin looking around the area, trying to find signs of griffins or anything else that's interesting, as you are climbing a slope, you stumble across the skeleton of what must have been a bear, but it's been picked clean.
It's cool. That's probably fine.
Lou will grab a couple of bones and put them in his bag.
As you're doing that, make a medicine check.
I have decent medicine. Lou has decent medicine.
You do.
That is 28.
28, wow. You notice score marks on the bones caused by large talons, claws, and beaks.
Oh, I think we're getting close to the griffins. This thing has all kinds of griffin-like marks on it. You got claws here. He points to a bone. You got beak marks here. Points to a different bone. This is definitely griffin-related.
In fact, since you're all reconnoitering the hex, why doesn't everyone give me perception checks?
Okay.
Let's make them GM secret.
Oh, it's too late.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Can I re-roll mine?
No.
Okay. It wasn't good.
Lou is completely fascinated by these bones that he's found and simply stops paying attention to anything else around him. He just is looking at these bones. He tries,
I'm trying to find the best bones.
Can he swap out one of these bear bones with his own bones? No, that doesn't work.
Would be cool if you could.
Just holding each one up to my arms to see if any of them fit.
Wait a minute, that's awesome. We need to explore this idea for.
That's what Lou's doing.
Zancath, you're looking around. You don't see anything in particular, but Aklep and Ivan, as you're looking around, you both see a few white feathers are scattered around the area. And Ivan, as you look up this hill toward its peak, as you distinguish this hill from the other hills nearby, you notice that you think there are 2 nests on top of this hill. You can barely make them out. And you can also see 4 older nests. They look like they're currently unused to the left and to the right of the peak. You can't see over the top of the ridge, but you remember Vera saying something about beyond the griffin's nest is a vantage point that would be good for getting a view of the valley. You don't see any creatures on the hill, but
It is very long pause. Suspense
Very
is
long
not
pause. Yeah. There's a map loading. It's always a bad sign.
But
Commercial break.
as you look at the map, you'll see that there are some trees and different things around, and you need to explore this area since you found some nests. So what I'd like everyone to do is go ahead and roll for initiative, and we're going to use that for tracking movement.
Oh,
Well,
sure.
I'm no longer enfeebled. Let's get rid of that before I start rolling things.
I'm getting all my good rolls out of the way early.
I had big breakfast, so I am slow. Moldy Eggo waffles. No syrup.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
The GM's rolling for initiative as well. It's never a good sign, though.
Okay, so Aklep, what'd you get?
33.
Incredible. 33. I don't think we've had a roll that high, have we? Without being a natural 20? All right,
I do believe it was a natural 20.
Oh.
It was a natural 20.
All right. Aklep goes first, and then Lou, what did you get?
Lou got a 24.
And then Zancath
19.
and Ivan.
What was it? 12?
13.
13.
Okay, so that means, Aklep, you get to go first here. You can see there are trees, and the ground slopes up to the north. Well, actually, the map sort of flipped around. It's north in the map, but that direction is actually south. But that's okay. Doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Forward on the map, the ground is sloping up. Where do you want to go? You've got 3 actions.
Aklep is going to move 25 feet, which is here.
All right.
He'll beckon Grifka to follow him. So Grifka also walks. Wow. Where are these nests at?
There, you can barely make them out now that Ivan has pointed them out at the top of the hill ahead of you.
Top of the hill. Oh, that seems like a scary place to be. But also, there could be like cool, more magical items in those nests.
Probably a lot of dead bodies.
I think he's going to try to be stealthy because, presumably these griffins are going to like come back.
Okay. In that case, go ahead and roll stealth.
Be stealthy. He rolled a 17 for stealth.
Okay.
And what is that? 2 actions? He's going to tell Grifka to also be stealthy so that Grifka can also roll stealth. And so Grifka rolls a 12 for stealth. He's a little harder to be stealthy.
Yeah.
All right.
It's hard when you glow.
And that is the end of Aklep's turn. Lou, what do you want to do?
Let's see. Lou wants to... He's going to go over here to the left. He doesn't really want to advance very far. What's my movement speed? 1 sec. Is it 25 or 30? Let me check. Movement speed 25. So Lou's going to kind of move over here, standing under this tree so I can see a little bit more.
Okay. Just one move and that's it?
You know what? 1 sec. Let me see if there's anything cool I can cast to help me see, because I do have something that lets me see the unseen, but that's probably not worth using here. We're not expecting anything magical. Yeah, he's just going to stay put. Just in case, so he's going to raise his shield. Just for funsies.
Good idea. Zancath, it's your turn. Still nothing really visible.
Yeah, Zancath is going to draw her short bow and move forward 25 feet. And I am also going to stealth.
Okay.
Wow, that's a bad roll. I'm going to... We're probably almost done with this session, right?
Yes.
So I'll get another hero point back next time.
I suppose so, yes.
Okay, I'm going to use my hero point.
Okay.
Because that was a 2 for a total of 15.
Yeah.
That's better. It's 21.
All right, so you sneak forward and hide under this tree.
Yeah.
Ivan, the party around you is sneaking forward. What do you want to do?
Charge loudly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sure, Ivan will take out the shield. Draw shield. Draws new freaking sweet longsword. And he'll stealth. But I think when we stealth gang, I think we move at half speed.
That's why I moved and then stealthed.
Yeah.
Oh, is that
if
that
you
a
do
thing?
that, then you're hiding. Yeah.
Oh, I see. All right, I'm still going to stealth move.
Okay.
Let's see how good that goes. 19.
Okay, not bad.
Hey,
Pretty good, yeah.
it's almost as good as me, and I have a much better stealth.
Aklep, it's your turn.
Great. Aklep is going to keep this slow approach thing going.
Well, like Josh said, if you're continuing to move stealthily, that's half speed.
Oh.
So your movement speed is 25 feet, I'm guessing?
Yeah, what's half of 25?
10.
Okay. Oh,
That's much lamer.
much lamer.
I'll also have Grifka move stealthily.
Editor's note. The party continued like this for a while, creeping forward very slowly while making some dangerously bad stealth checks. I had them play it out turn by turn so that we could carefully track where everyone was going and what resources they used, but it doesn't make great audio. I'm skipping ahead a bit, and then I'll play a short conversation as they ascend, and then skip ahead again.
Ooh, I see, a nest. I can see a nest now. It's big. It's a large nest.
There are technically 2 nests on top of this hill, but the map only shows 1.
And it kind of looks like it has eggs, so I'm just posing this question. Can we bring back little baby griffins to the following, or no?
I mean, we've been told not to bring back any more creatures, but also baby griffins would be awesome.
It would be incredible. Like, I feel like they should give us a pass.
Yeah. Like a future flying mount?
Lou, it's your turn.
Okay, Lou is just gonna stop hiding for a minute. He's gonna walk over here next to Zancath. And then he's gonna hide again and raise his shield. My very poor stealth again.
Oof.
Oh, that is a 6.
So Lou sort of rattles his way over next to Zancath and raises his shield.
Sandclaw is wincing with every loud noise that he makes.
He says, "We're hiding."
Yeah, I just look over at her from behind the shield. What? I'm trying to be sneaky.
Zencath, it's your turn.
And skipping ahead again.
Well, I'm seeing a whole lot of old nests.
Yes, there are 4 of them.
Whoa, cool. Okay. Let's see. Aklep. He moved. He's gonna do a perception also. To see if there's any birds. And it got a 17. So...
Yep, you see a lot of white feathers around, but you don't see currently any large bird-like dangerous creatures.
All right, Grifka is moving forward. I'm going to do a nature check. What do I know about the nesting habits of griffins? How far away could they possibly have gone? And that is a 25.
All right. You know they like to ambush prey.
Oh, cool.
You know that they like to carry prey off and drop it.
Yep.
They don't have any particular weaknesses or immunities or resistances. Yeah, they like to pounce. They like to do flyby or strafing attacks. They have really good scent. They are very good at detecting creatures by scent.
Oh no. Aklep lifts up an arm and takes a whiff.
I think that means it's Zancath's turn.
I'm just gonna move 30 feet while stealthing forward.
Ivan, it's your turn.
Ivan moves forward 20 feet total and raises a shield.
Aklep.
My God. These turns are so quick.
When all you're doing is moving very short distances.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, I'll move. And then I'll move again. I'm hanging up here with Ivan, which is exactly where Aklep doesn't want to be.
What are you saying?
Yeah.
And then Grifka is also going to move up a little bit. Well, I'll issue a command so that Grifka can move lots. 20 feet. Boom. Like a little bottleneck going up this steep issue of the hill.
Lou, your turn.
I guess I'll move right here, and I will once again bravely raise my shield.
All right, so he's sort of not mechanically hiding, but sort of sheltering behind one of these slopes.
Yeah.
And Zancath.
I gotta say, the last thing that these griffins are gonna want is Lou. He is already bones. We know they pick him down to the
They
bones.
don't want those.
Oh, that's a good point.
You're quite safe.
Well, I mean, except he's very well hidden at this point with his shoes and his
Yeah.
gloves, so
They don't know he's
they may
all
not be
bones.
able to tell.
Oh, no.
He is chock full of bone marrow. Delicious.
I'm going to roll a perception to look around for them. That's a 28.
Wow. They are not visible here. You've rolled very well, but they are simply not visible from your current position. If they are somewhere nearby, they either rolled really well to hide, or they're just not visible from where you are. Other things that you notice in the area, there are some bones in these nests of various creatures. There are white feathers all over the place. There are, I think, 3 eggs. Is that right? Let's see, how many eggs are there?
It's what the map shows, but let's be honest.
So actually there are 5 eggs in the nest.
So I have 2 actions left. I'm going to move forward 20 feet there, just up to the top of the next rise.
You're getting very close to that central nest.
Yep.
Ivan, your turn.
Ivan advances 20 feet. He can see inside the nest now, clearly. There's blood on the floor. There's 3 eggs.
5 eggs.
There's 1 nest, but probably 2 nests in some sort of space-time vortex mistake. And bones everywhere, and skulls, and he will raise a shield, and that will be his turn.
As you ascend the hill, there is a loud screech as a creature with the hindquarters of a lynx and the forequarters of a snowy owl leaps into the air from behind the peak and dives at you. And we'll find out how much of you it eats in 2 weeks.
It is not good, but totally expected. I mean, come on, you guys.
Yeah.
This is the way this needed to go.
Thanks for listening to Tales of Bob. You can help the podcast by giving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast or Spotify, by following us on Blue Sky, Facebook, and Instagram at The House of Bob, or by chatting with us on Discord, and most of all, by supporting us on Patreon. That's at patreon.com/thehouseofbob. This show is possible due to all our patrons who get one-shots, commentary, and other cool stuff. You can also listen to the House of Bob podcast, which, unlike Tales of Bob, is not clean, but is a lot of fun, with campaigns in different systems such as D&D, Pathfinder, The Sprawl, Frontier Scum, and more. Art for this episode, audio production, and music are by Mike. Thanks again for listening, and roll on. I'll send you a folder to drop that file into.
Yeah. The leave session button is grayed out.
Oh yeah, you can't leave in the middle. You can't leave while it's recording. You just have to close the window. Is the only way I've gotten out of it before.
All right, so make a persuasion check.
Nope, you have to give me just a minute.
Jessica just stealth.
I was enjoying having my camera on.
Could roll it for you if it'd be easier.
I'm almost there. Maybe. Just go ahead and roll it for me. It's taking forever. Wait. Nope, I got it.
Oh,
It just loaded.